Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Simon Garrod, guitarist from metalcore newcomers Eschalon, to the podcast. Eschalon dropped their debut single, Helios, late last year. The band has an EP's worth of material and are working on more music videos. Simon talks about his musical background, starting TechFest, being a tour bus driver, finally getting Eschalon off the ground, and more. Over on YouTube, Idola89 commented on chapter 432 with Ashley of Foxcult and said, came across Foxcult randomly on Twitter, was cool to learn their story, amazing artist, flying under the radar for sure. Thanks for the comment, and I'm glad discovering the band had you seek out more information and led you to the podcast. The Foxcult EP is incredible, and Ashley was a delight to have on the podcast. If you are new to the podcast, make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast platform of choice. Enjoy getting to know Simon from Eschalon.
I'm in basically Cambridge, England.
Cambridge?
Just outside of Cambridge, yeah.
Nice.
Not far. Jake's from down in London, South London.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, we've just done another video shoot basically, so we're just trying to get ahead and just get as many in the bank as we can.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good. Like, the music videos had this real like resurgence in popularity, and like it's very important now to the music industry.
Yeah, I feel like it's just something that we really do, and like, you know, my era of like, you know, when I got into tech metal was MySpace days.
Yeah.
You know, that was the age, you know what I mean? So I've kind of like, you know, I'm sort of a bit of a boomer, but like I feel that it's just, music's just a small part of what a band can be. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to it.
Yeah. Well, if you're a boomer, I mean, you put me in the grave, because when I got into hardcore, it was like all cassette tapes and like reading the liner notes. It is like, who are they thanking so I can check out more bands? Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, thanks for having us. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll let you crack on with what you want to ask us and that.
Yeah. I mean, did you grow up in the Cambridge area?
Yeah, I've always been around Cambridge. Always lived here.
Nice.
Been here, 34 years.
Nice. What was growing up like?
It's nice. I just grew up in a family, and the village I grew up in is it won like the cleanest village award multiple years in a row, and like some magazine rated it like the nicest place to grow old. So quite a quiet lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. What got you into music?
I did like classical guitar at school, and then that kind of just I think skating. Like, I got into skating as a kid, and then like listening to like obviously like the Tony Hawk soundtrack, and you know, skater culture was just like, you're either into metal or hip hop, and at the time I just went more down the classic rock route, which was kind of what my dad was into, was sort of like you know, the Queens and Black Sabbaths and Led Zeppelins and all of that, and then I quickly got into Metallica, obviously.
Yeah.
And that was like Trivium, Chimera, Lamb of God, All Shall Perish. And that was it. I was gone.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. What was there a decent music scene in Cambridge, especially for heavy music, or?
So back in like MySpace days, we used to get like bands like Ingested and Trigger the Bloodshed, and I know that like Enter Shikari and Fell Silent used to play around here a lot in like my local pub, and I never saw it, which was like pretty mad. Yeah, we've got Nima on a tune now, so we all come full circle. But basically Cambridge has been shit for years, and then the last 2 years, our friends at the 66 Bar, which is where Eschalon did our live debut show. 66 Bar have like single-handedly, you know, brought Cambridge music scene back to life. You know, Carl Harris and Adam and everyone at the team just like literally carried the flag to Cambridge. Like, there is other venues and they are great, and that, you know what I mean, they do gigs every night, but like for like the metal scene, you know what I mean, like especially the modern metal, like metalcore tech scene, like, you know, the 66 have really got that. sort of in their pocket now. Do you know what I mean? They're absolutely smashing it. So shout out them.
Nice. Is that like a post-COVID, like, we have to fucking do something? Like,
Well, no, my mate basically just took over a vegan cafe bar sort of thing, and they've turned it into a music venue, and it's just become like the sort of alternative hub of Cambridge now in the last 2 years, which we've not had for years. Do you know what I mean? Like Cambridge, people think Cambridge is all like classical music, and it's actually like ska punk and raves. That's like the three most popular genres, and folk. But yeah, metal is not really it's not been a thing in Cambridge for a long time.
Yeah. As a metalhead, like growing up, what was that like, trying to like form bands and like get your footing?
Really hard, man. Like, you know, and I don't know if sort of Dan filled you in that, but like I'm the guy who organises the UK Tech Fest in the UK.
Okay.
So like even with that like sort of like connection of knowing everyone, it still took me ages to find the right members. Do you know what I mean, for this band? Do you know what I mean? I met my drummer on a YouTube comment back at 2013 Tech Fest.
Nice.
So I've had the drummer first, which is usually the hardest one to get. And then our bassist, I met him in the pizza queue at Tech Fest in 2017. And then everyone else we sort of met through lockdown, really, once we started getting our stuff together.
Nice.
So,
nice. Talk to me about Tech Fest. How'd that get started?
Just as I was saying with my progression before, from like Metallica to Trivium to Chimera, Lamb of God, All Shall Perish, like once I'd hit the All Shall Perishes and that, I got into like all the underground metal bands and just the most nerdiest of stuff. And like I quickly realized that like, you know, there's kids in my local venue just 20 minutes down the road that can out shred and out drum, you know, these bands like Metallica that I've looked up to. Like obviously they're greater bands, bigger bands, they do bigger shows and all of that, but like in terms of like pure musicianship and like actual talent and of the instrument itself, kids these days are just insane because they've had YouTube to grow up on, and they've just learned, you know, how to be ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, I just kind of always just sort of the imbalance between talent and fame. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose I always kind of sided with the talent should be more famous than it is. So I've just tried to bring all the most nerdy bands together and just make a scene for it. Do you know what I mean? Make it a thing, like legitimize the whole tech gen metalcore thing with its own festival. Do you know what I mean?
What was that like? I mean, you were putting on the fest, you're enjoying that. Was it just like a struggle to like, you're in the music scene doing something, but you also want to start a band? Like, was there a struggle?
I was in bands before I started Tech Fest.
Okay.
The first Tech Fest, my old band, we ended up going on tour with No Consequence and Uneven Structure and another band called Broken Torment back in the day. Okay. That was after the first Tech Fest. We just toured with some of the bands that were playing it. We didn't play the first Tech Fest at all. We just kind of jumped on with some bands afterwards. But that was the last time I was on stage until last month.
Nice.
Yeah, that was it. A big 12-year gap. But yeah, I suppose I was my heart was always into music and playing guitar, and then I sort of started a blog to promote some bands basically, and through that I started Tech Fest. But yeah, I suppose I got sidetracked with running a festival and sort of kind of pulled away from my own riffs and everything. But that has been something that I've been working on the entirety of Tech Fest. Like I've been practicing, I've been writing, I've been building the equipment and stuff. I've been getting the team together, finding the members, coming up with concepts, lyrics, everything, like videos. So it's like we are a new band, but to us, we're not a new band. We're like we've been around a decade, and like we've been working really hard, and we've literally got a decade's worth of stuff to drop. So it's like, you know, we've just been waiting for the right time, really, just to have it all together. And like people like Dave have helped us bring that together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
What got you into music videos and directing?
So basically, I used to play in bands, and I was on tour. And as good as iPhones are, when you're driving through like a place like the Alps, they just don't do it justice. And in one of the bands that I played in, my friend was is still a music video or video producer, all sorts of kind of stuff, and he makes a living out of doing that. And I thought, well, that looks cool. I'm going to buy myself a camera, not thinking to make money out of it, but I just had more of an interest in it. And I did my first tour. I'd had a camera for like a month, did my first tour with it, and then I came back and had a bunch of bands asking for work. So it just kind of happened. So now it's like Simon. I've stopped really playing in bands. I do a bit of music on the side, but I'm so busy being on tour. I've got a chance to play myself now.
Just kind of an accidental career choice.
Literally, I spent 13 years trying to make a career as a guitarist or drummer or whatever, playing in bands. I pick up a camera, and in 6 months, my life is completely changed. I'm actually making money in the music industry.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
got to have a leap of faith in it and just believe in yourself and just do it. Like
that's it. So the motto is, musicians have to pay you. So if you want to make money, just do anything but play music in the music industry.
Yeah. The only money I've ever made for the music industry was from driving bands. Like, I've been a tour driver longer than I've run Tech Fest or anything, and like the only income I've ever really considered is like salary. Do you know what I mean? From the music industry. Do you know what I mean? Everything else just love and passion, and happy to spend the money to go do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Yeah. Well, how did you start just being a tour bus driver or van driver?
Well, I was running a blog back in the day, but just basically promoted the UK gent scene.
Okay.
And I bought a van mainly because I was trying to set up a band back then. And I was like, well, I need to lug all my stuff around for practices. So I'll get a van. It's great if I want to go to like Bloodstock or Download or anything, I can just sleep in it. Do you know what I mean? It's just fun. And then, I just put a post out one day being like, looking to drive bands to the door, see how it goes sort of thing. And a band called Net Silver hired me. And I was like, I don't even know what to charge. I was about, 19 years old, 20 years old, something like that. First bit of a tour, so I was like, yeah, whatever, mate, 20 quid a day, I'll come out, do a death metal tour. I think I did like a 400-mile drive for like 20 quid. But like,
oh man,
it was fine. Do you know what I mean? I had a great time. I come back with more money than I'd ever earned in my life. So I was just like, sweet. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously I put my prices up pretty quickly, but like, it was a great opportunity. I met loads of people, do you know what I mean? And that's kind of how it all started. And I've kind of done it ever since, do you know what I mean? But I pretty much only drive bands that I like now. Like, I only drive friends that people I care about and people whose music I care about. I will do random jobs here and there, but I don't really want to. Like, it's just, I've got enough people. Like, I don't really have the time to do any more driving as it is. So it's like, I can sort of, be a bit more selective and just go out with people that I know well already rather than getting stuck.
You do whatever it takes when you're getting started, and then once you reach a point, you're just like, okay, now I can be picky and selective and like not fuck around.
I still love it because like it went really well hand in hand, because like I could go out, I could go see, I kind of catered to like driving smaller bands. Like, that's kind of, I do it as cheap as possible still to this day, just to help people out and get people on tour. And like, I've done it for so long, I can always sort of help with bits of advice and places to stay. And I've usually been to the venue already, sort of thing. I know the guy running it or whatever. So I kind of do like free tour management, do you know what I mean? Within that role for smaller bands. But like, it's kind of nice just to get out and sort of do that. But like, as I say, like, because we drive in these sort of smaller bands, you get to see so many other smaller bands. And like, there's so many bands I've just picked up from touring that I've then put on Tech Fest, and you see them today, like, much bigger bands sort of thing, after getting the sort of a first break out of their hometown sort of thing. So it's really good. And it's also handy for going out flyering, do you know what I mean? I'd always take a load of flyers, find a load of bands, promote a load of bands I've already found, do you know what I mean? It's just a good opportunity to get out there and be about the place.
Yeah. You're doing tour bus driving, you're doing Tech Fest, you're making music videos and filming bands, and then the world shuts down, music ends. Like, talk to me about like COVID and lockdown and like your experience.
I mean, and this was such a weird one. Like, obviously with the festival, it was a nightmare because it was like we had to just cancel it, roll it over, cancel it again, roll it over, and still not know whether we were going to do it for the 2022. Till later in the year, sort of thing. So it was a right faff. It cost us a lot of money to do that. It cost us a lot of time and energy. It would have been nice to have just, if I'd have known how long it would have gone on for, I'd have probably just ended it there and just come back once it was over, rather than trying to like, keep the ship sailing, because we didn't really get to have a rest from it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like constant trying to deal with it. We didn't actually do anything. But now we did year 10 this year. We ended Tech Fest on a high, and I've just got a lot of personal life stuff I want to tend to, and like obviously I've got like the band and stuff to sort of launch now, so it's kind of a new time and a new era for me to do my thing within the scene. Do you know what I mean? I've got something to show people, so it's like I'm going to do that for a little bit, and I will come back to TechFest one day. But we've got our last club show at the end of the year. I think this goes out in January, so it'll probably be done by then. But we'll come back to TechFest at some point. I've still got a lot of love for it. I just need to sort a few personal life things out first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about Eschalon. What was there something about lockdown where you were like, okay, now is the time where I really want to start a band, that like you had that time to think? Or?
The band was started, like the Eschalon page I actually saved in 2012.
Okay.
So that's been since then. I took a decade and 11 years to publish it. Do you know what I mean? So, I've had the concept, the name for a long time, the idea behind it and what it means, and like the music and what we're trying to sort of present musically is still the same as it was when I sort of thought of it before, but like it's obviously evolved a lot, and we've got a lot better at sort of communicate what we want to sound like. Do you know what I mean? So I mean we're still I suppose lockdown basically just gave us time where it kind of like I had a lot more free time. We couldn't leave the house. Luckily, just before lockdown, I'd actually just invested in like a little home sort of demo studio setup. So just got myself like a new Mac and monitors and like an interface and load of little software and stuff. And like I was working on a few different genre EPs because I'm into all sorts of different music and stuff. And I just thought writing as much music as possible through lockdown would just help keep my headspace clear, but also like just good opportunity to learn to do different things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll hear like the beat at the end of like Helios and that, and like I spent like a good year learning how to make beats, and just like after metal, like my second favorite thing is like grime and hip hop and rap battles and all of that. So it's like I listen to a lot of beats, and they're so similar and so heavy. Do you know what I mean? So I just see the similarities everywhere and just entwine the two. Obviously, Hacktivist is a good example of that as well.
Yeah, like there's a lot of bands combining like that hip hop element and like atmospherics with metal and metalcore these days, so it totally works.
Love it.
Yeah. You said you've had this band since 2012. Was the name always Eschalon?
Well, I've been in metal bands before, and they're all kind of my attempt of doing this. So there's been various names over the years and different lineups and stuff like that. But officially, like before, like it was like friends forming bands. When Eschalon become a thing, it's like I'm building my band and I'm going to recruit everyone, and then I can write the things and I can just be in a lot more sort of control of it and sort of actually direct it and sort of have a bit more of a say, and sort of rather than just all trying to sort of mash loads of stuff together and no one's happy sort of thing. Like if we have a clear defined thing, then people know what they're signing up for. Do you know what I mean? And there's many people that are interested in that they're going to get involved. But like being in a band is so much more than just releasing music. Like we've dealt with so many interpersonal issues, people's health issues, people's mental issues, people's deep personal family issues. We've been there for each other and stuff, and like that's been a decade, and like people don't see that part of it. And like I think to us, like that is ultimately what we do this for, is for the community, the purpose, and like believe in ourselves to believe in and sort of be a part of. And like it's just an opportunity for us all just to get together, have some beers, make some riffs, make a racket, and just have a laugh. Do you know what I mean? And like if that takes place, is great. Do you know what I mean? We're more than happy to play anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's cool. What led you to Eschalon as the band's name?
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of my own interpretation of sort of like Terence McKenna philosophy. It's the whole eschaton, sort of end of time, final moment, the now sort of business. And like, eschatology is sort of like the study of time and like all of that. Like Echelon to me is like the final place, the final moment, or sort of the now, and like the final goal of the universe. And like, if we sit back and do fuck all, it's going to be an absolute dystopia at the minute. So like Echelon to me is like a place, and it's like a mental state, and it's a physical realm, and it's your own sort of free choice to decide what that place is. Do you want it to be a beautiful nature thing, or do you want it to be this horrible apocalypse? Do you know what I mean? And like we're trying to infuse the whole nature and dystopia vibe within all our like imagery and sort of videos and stuff. So you'll see some real epic, ethereal videos. Like the next one that's coming is absolutely insane. If you thought Helios was good, you want to see this next thing. But yeah, Jake's been working hard. But then we just filmed another one this weekend, and that's just pure dystopia. So there's no beauty in that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. You just released your debut single, Helios. Talk to me about the song. Talk to me about the music video. Where do you film it, and like, what's the concept behind it with like the pyramids?
Okay, cool. So the song's basically we dedicated it in memory to Carl Riley, who's like one of our best friends. We've got a photo of him right there. It's in my living room. Carl Riley. I've got a mug up on the shelf somewhere as well. I've got a little load of memorabilia of him. But like, you know, Castle City are like, I'll just shout them out as a TechFest perspective and as an Eschalon perspective. You know, Castle City were literally one of the best metalcore bands on the planet. Like when I booked North Lane for TechFest, that was the only band on the bill they recognised the name of, and they wanted to go see them. Do you know what I mean? North Lane were headlining. You know, Castle were an opening band, and they were like, that's the only band we've heard of. They were around for years. They took While She Sleeps and Monuments Out as their first opener tours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, they were heritage. But yeah, Carl passed away a year ago on the 1st of November. So we basically, Brad, the vocalist, he does the clean singing with the long hair and that. He was Carl's best friend. He was his executor. He was his like carer. He was there to the very end, sort of thing. And I met Brad through Carl, literally just having a chat on this sofa one day. I was just calling Carl and told him I needed a vocalist for Eschalon. He literally just called Brad and said, you're in a band. And yeah, like Carl like massively like believed in me, and like, you know, he was like one of my favorite people I'd met through TechFest. Do you know what I mean? We were like, you know, friends in the scene, and we went far beyond business and music and all of that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he was a big inspiration to us musically. Castle City, huge inspiration to Eschalon in terms of music, but also just how hard they fucking work. The fact that they were building their own 30-inch baritones before they were a thing. You know, they built their own cabs, they built all their own in-ear custom molds, they did their own light show before anyone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were just one of those bands that did it first and did it completely DIY, didn't ask anyone permission to do anything, just did it. I hugely rated that ethos that they had, and we got Patch, the vocalist of Castle City, to do the merch design and to do the single artwork sort of thing, to tie it all in together. We made it like an epic t-shirt that Carl would have appreciated. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I mean, other than the pyramid, like, you know, other than that, I mean, there's no real concept to it. Like the pyramid is just like, obviously, like, we're a gent band or whatever you want to call it, and like, you know, every Meshuggah inspired band like has a wet dream about filming at a pyramid. And I was like, well, I fucking know where one is, and I can't believe no one else has done a music video there. So fuck you, I'm gonna happen. that was it. Nice. No real deeper concept than that.
Nice. You guys are working on music videos. You got more singles coming. Is your plan just to keep releasing music as singles and putting music out that way, or are you building to like an EP or album?
Well, yeah, I suppose I haven't really said this anywhere else, so you get a little exclusive. But like, we have an EP basically done. Helios is like a standalone single. Basically, it's just Helios as itself.
Okay.
We have an EP done. It's 5 tracks with an interlude beat, so 6 tracks sort of thing. But that will be coming sometime. But we are going to break it down into singles and videos and stuff. I feel that as a brand new band, it's just is the only way to make sense. And like, me and Jake like definitely are like quality over quantity when it comes to it. And like, I just feel that like bands should be treating singles like an album campaign. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like there's a whole visual element that we're trying to achieve, and like, you know, when we go to a location, we'll film all the things around it and take photos of everything around it. And like, you know, in the campaign, you'll see this universe being built of this location that we're at, and like all these other locations that we've incorporated and stuff. And we kind of create this fairy tale sort of place that doesn't even seem real. Like the amount of people that have commented that the pyramid is CGI versus the amount of people that are, you know, like sort of disclosed where the location is. is overwhelming. Most people think it's fake, and like think that Jake's just like Star Wars magic. Do you know what I mean?
Not that good.
Yeah. This is the Spielberg of Croydon right here, honestly. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we want to create, and like the imagery is quite interconnected. So you might have noticed that the merchandise is the same color grade as like the video stuff, and like that also correlates with our light show live. Like all the singles have their own color scheme for the light show. The merchandise, the singles, the videos, they're all sort of going to follow certain themes, and it's kind of like when you watch the live show start to finish, it all flows and it's all a one piece bit of music almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a disposability to music these days, unfortunately. So like if you drop it just singles at a time, like you're gonna get more hits, as opposed to being like, here are 8 songs, and people are like, okay. If
you just release a full album now, you're literally just putting all your body of work onto the internet on like a blackjack, like gambling fucking level of chance. Do you know what I mean?
Well, nothing.
It's less than that, actually.
Well, it's just the way that the algorithms work. You're not going to get an album track's not going to get Spotify playlisted, for example. Singles are, but if you just whack a bunch of songs, like you've just wasted all that time recording, all that time writing them, to be fallen on only the most die-hard of fans, which for most bands, you don't have a big enough fan base to kind of rely on that. It just makes more sense. Release them, spend good time promoting them, so you get the maximum impact, and then at the end of it, you can release them as a special edition physical copy that's a body of work, and then add a few bonus tracks just to make that unique for the actual fans that are interested in that. But it's like you're wasting your time just releasing especially a whole album. Don't even get me started on that. You just, we might as well just fucking cut off your balls.
Yeah. But, people are filming stuff in 15-second sound bits.
Yeah.
So, you might as well just do that. It will get as much traction as releasing a single. And like, same with like, releasing a single versus an album, it'll probably get just as much traction if you can split it up and, as I say, like build a universe around a single so that there's something more to it than it's, the same, we've been a band for 10 years, like, the audio part of it is, people listening to the audio part of it is a very small part of what this band has been. Do you know what I mean? And we've put so much thought into the light show, the actual videos and stuff like that. That the actual package that we want to give people for a single, the audio is 20-30% of it. There's this whole other thing around it, which is the live show that goes with it, the content around it, and like the imagery and the merchandise and everything. We want it to be like this little universe you can escape in. And just, I want Eschalon to be bigger than us as individuals or, as an idea. Do you know what I mean? Just something that people can really enjoy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. This episode's coming out in January. 2023 is, it's basically over. I mean, what are your plans for next year and your approach to touring, or just continue to drop the singles and let your name build?
Yeah. So we're going to have, me and Jake have just finished filming the 4th music video. So we've got that. We've got a little bit of footage towards a 5th one as well, which we're sort of going to collect over a load of shows.
The second one will be dropping around January, February.
Well, hopefully, yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to start sort of aiming to get something out early next year, basically. I think probably February will be most likely. It all depends on a few things. It's got to be right, or we won't do it. Do you know what I mean? But we've got a lot of stuff in the bank, so I imagine things will be quite quick from next year. Do you know what I mean? In terms of getting stuff out, and there's quite a lot more to come. Basically, we've still got a little bit more stuff for Helios to sort of put out over the next couple of months as well. There's other stuff around that's coming out with it. But yeah, like show wise, we've got some shows confirmed for next year, sort of around the country. I think. We don't really want to tour yet. Like, it's just we've done one single. Like, I don't really feel I've earned the right to just go and ask to go on tour. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to just like build it up a bit and just kind of try to stay humble and just keep putting content out and building the band and stuff. So that when we do a tour, it's kind of worth it. Do you know what I mean? And we've got some really cool one-offs and stuff with like friends that really cool friends and really cool bands to play with in really cool areas and stuff, good venues and stuff. And like, that's kind of what we want to do, is just kind of hit shows, hit festivals and stuff, and just, take it easy. It was in your first year of being a band. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's loads of different things, but we've got a lot of stuff on the online and back end of things to get out there to make that all work nice and smoothly. But the offers are coming in. We've got some really cool shows coming up, and we're really excited for that. So I think 2024 will be a busy year for that. I'm definitely going to be getting in Jake's calendar soon to book some more videos. Yeah, he's still recovering off the last 3, but
Thanks for listening to As the Story Grows. Our intro music was written and composed by Jeremy Hunt. The As the Story Grows theme is by Bob Nana. If you like what you hear, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and review. If you'd like to support the show financially, you can join us at patreon.com/asthestorygrows. Be a part of our community and join the ongoing conversation over on Discord. If you enjoy this episode, share it on social media with your friends. Much appreciated, and thanks for listening.
I never felt so young and alive as when I'm diving into a